Hi there, Challenges of Childhood. This is Dr. Ng reporting in. I just wanted to touch base with you regarding week 9. We are cruising right along on this calendar. If you're checking off, you're seeing that we are well over the halfway mark. And week 9 coincides with March 15th through March 21st. So be looking for the coordinating quiz 9 that's going to accompany week 9. And our topic this week, our content, is over child abuse and non-accidental injuries in children. So this is definitely heavy content, disturbing content perhaps, and also a challenge to us as providers to, first of all, we want to prevent. That's key. Prevention is key. So educating and being an advocate for children. But then if we're not able to prevent and we are a provider once the incident has occurred, we want to be definitely the advocate for that child and promoting optimal outcomes. So we need some resources in our tool belt to know how we can support children that have been victimized by child abuse or non-accidental injuries. So we are discussing sexual abuse, verbal abuse, physical abuse, and a lot of times we're going to see that these are a trifecta. And emotional abuse is almost always going to be accompanying either sexual or physical abuse. And then oftentimes, as I mentioned, it can be all three. So we want to be aware of these. We want to know the warning signs. We want to know what to look for. There are certain demographics that sometimes accompany. There are certain scenarios that can be indicative of and kind of raise some red flags that as a provider we're going to want these on our radar, and be that we can see maybe pointing to an instance where we're going to want to take a little bit deeper dive in on our assessments, and we're going to be wanting to be aware of those indicators that point towards child abuse. So knowing that and knowing this is some heavy content, I just want you to pull through and look at it more of the case of we do have a lot, especially in the state of Oklahoma, we do have a lot of cases. So how can we be advocates for these children, and specifically as providers, how can we step up and help to minimize and promote prevention of child abuse, especially given the case of the pandemic and corona. We've had people out of work. There's a lot of factors that have come into play where we want to offer resources and come alongside and to help, ideally, as I mentioned, trying to help prevent. But then if we do come in later into the picture and we are faced with caring for a child that has been a victim of child abuse or non-accidental injuries, we want to come with a full tool belt of resources to help support that child. So that in a nutshell is going to give you an idea of what this week will entail. This week there is just the quiz, so go over that information. There is a Panopto video with a guest lecture on there. You can go on and see that information, as well as then take that quiz. So it's a little bit lighter of a week, but I do want to make sure you have on your radar that now it's right over the bend here, right on the horizon. We have that first large assignment that is going to be that resource presentation. And although I've mentioned this every week, I generally am going to come up to the end and having people ask, can I get an extension, or I need some help, or I haven't secured a topic, and there's going to be some panic moments. So please don't let that be you. And again, looking back as I'm grading the assignments, there's been some really good work, but it's been submitted late. So you want to start at the full points. If there are deductions made, you obviously want the full points possible when we start grading. So I encourage you to submit assignments. Watch your time management and submit your assignments, if at all possible, on time, because deductions are taken according to what's laid out in the syllabus. So just so that it's fair for all, I want you to be aware of that, especially on these large assignments that are coming. you can look at the rubric and see those are some heavy hitters. So please work hard to not only submit them on time, please submit them early if at all possible, so we can avoid last minute printers not working. If you're trying to print something out to have it edited, people are saying that their computers are crashing, they can't get into Harvey, whatever the case may be, someone's sick. Those are hard deadlines because they're falling towards the end of the semester and there's a lot to grade, so I have to stick with hard deadlines on those assignments. So if you come up and you're not able to, you're not feeling well, whatever, those deadlines will still be in place. So just know that I keep alluding to this each week so that we can, if at all possible, avoid that happening. Just keep the communication open if you don't mind. If you're having trouble, if you're struggling, if you want to brainstorm, more than happy to meet with you, either calling via phone, we can be Teams, collaborate, we can meet in my office with social distancing and mask if that is appropriate for you and you feel that you deem that helpful. I would love to do so. Please reach out if you have any questions or concerns, and I look forward to receiving your scholarly submissions, and I will be back for week 10. Have a great week.